Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to me pretending to use a hairbrush as a microphone. There's one, like, literally right here. Now, I want to get something out of the way real quick. I truly think that Season 1 of Solo Leveling is better than Season 2. I am not just saying that as, like, a way to make content or whatever. I'm not that big of a content creator to be tempted to do that kind of thing, to be honest. I understand why a lot of people think that Season 2 is better than Season 1, but they're wrong. I don't care what they say. I am very confident in the fact that Season 1 is better than Season 2. And that's why I'm making this video, to prove to you that it's better. Now, let's get into the actual stinking video. Now, Solo Leveling Season 2 obviously has better animation. I'm not going to argue with that. It has way more frames. It doesn't cut corners like using CGI at a distance. And it has really some incredibly pretty moments. And that's it. That's all it is. It's just good and pretty animation. Now you might be saying, Lincoln, that's all Solo Leveling has ever been. But I disagree with that. That kind of hurt. Solo Leveling has not always been about animation. I think it's always mostly been about action. That's a very different thing than animation. And really, to prove my point on the action being better in Solo Leveling Season 1 compared to Season 2, the overarching point is choreography. Dun, 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 dun. So basically, what I'm saying is that I don't care if you have a trillion frames of animation if the choreography is bad. Not to say that Solo Leveling had amazing choreography or anything, but it definitely had better choreography than Season 2. Season 2 was pretty much him just walking and stepping over everybody and not really ever struggling that much. Whereas at least in Season 1, he was struggling a lot, and particularly in a fight with Egress, it felt like they were actually communicating through their fight. And from someone who has done a lot of martial arts and combat sports, I know what a fight looks and what it feels like. And so it kind of is annoying to see what I would say is basically a glorified anime fireworks display in the frame of a fight. It just, there's like pretty much nothing to it except for the pretty animation. Now, I think that's the point that's going to annoy the most people. Like, you know, maybe one or even two of the three people who are going to watch this video are probably going to find that kind of annoying. Now, is because my other points, like the world building, is much worse in Season 2 compared to Season 1. I think most people will agree with. Not to say the world building in Season 1 is amazing. It's not like One Piece or whatever, right? It's just it's bad, but it's bad even compared to Season 1. Season 1 had enough world building and stuff like that to keep me intrigued. It was building on the gates and the monastones and the politics, and it felt like the world was big and that there were a lot of powerful people and countries in the world. But then in Season 2, it all of a sudden went from that to the world was going around Jinwoo, and Jinwoo was the only person that ever mattered to begin with. Who cares about you? And that just kind of made me kind of annoyed, because I really hate to say this, aura farming, that brought me physical sting and pain. I don't really care about that, to be honest. I don't know why people enjoy it. I don't really particularly enjoy it. Between the worse action and the bad world building, it didn't give me anything to latch onto, and I wasn't really looking forward to watching the next episode, to be honest. And I ended up enjoying anime that had a much lower budget, objectively worse animation, a lot more than this anime. I mean, don't get me wrong, Solo Leveling Season 2 had some amazingly beautiful moments, like I said, and it must have taken a long time and a lot of effort to make this. I'm not even sure if it was a legal amount of effort, but like, it was just that. It was just a glorified firework display. This is also, by the way, why I didn't really enjoy JJK, Season 1 or 2, but especially Season 2. It was just pretty, and it was cool to see. It was very cool. It was very well done, but it was just boring. There was nothing for me to latch onto. I didn't feel like there was really that much at stake, because I didn't really care about any of the characters in either JJK or Solo Leveling Season 2 especially, and it just ended up feeling boring. Like I said, I don't know how many times I've said that by now, but that's kind of the point of the video, so shut up. And I also think Solo Leveling Season 2 has worse writing than Season 1, because, like, at least in Season 1, it was a little bit less in your face that they were just trying to get to the next action scene. Don't get me wrong, it was still pretty obvious, but especially in season two. I'm just pretty much sitting there and thinking they shouldn't let this guy in a stinking dungeon anymore, for crying out loud. I mean, the series starts off with him going into a dungeon. It ends up being a double dungeon. There's a creepy thing, and a bunch of people die. And then he goes into another dungeon. And then he goes into another dungeon with the most puppy dog person looking guy you've ever seen in your life. And then a bunch of people betray him, and a bunch of people die again. And then he goes into another dungeon, and big shock, the escort ends up betraying them, and a bunch of people die again. And then at the start of season 2, he goes into a like D rank dungeon, and ends up being like an A or S rank red gate, and a bunch of people die. If I were the director of the Hunters, I wouldn't like this guy in a stinking dungeon anymore. He has basically caused an infinite number of problems at this point, and I haven't even talked about all the problems that he's caused. It just keeps on going on and on and on and on and on and on. When it comes down to it, the thing I enjoyed the most out of Solo Leveling Season 1 was him struggling a ridiculous amount. It was very well done. It felt like there were stakes, and it was very fun to watch. But I don't really care about what's happened in Season 2 of him just easily defeating everybody and all the women in the entire stinking anime wanting to have sex with him. It's just very not my kind of show, I guess. Now, if you disagree with the points I've made, that's fine. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's not that big of a deal. And I bid all you nerds, freaks, and weebs alike a mighty fine adieu.